कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमो महावदनाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते। कृष्ण चैतन्य नामनि गौरात्रेशे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकलामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, you are all welcome for continuity and completing today the nectar of instruction by Srila Rupa Goswami. By the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami, we have celebrated 4 days festival of Srila Rupa Goswami Tirobhav, and today real service to Rupa Goswami is to study his literature which he has given, and we are finishing today by his mercy the nectar of instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami. So verse 10 is the hierarchy of the devotees. Verse 9 was the hierarchy of the places for performing devotional service. Now the hierarchy of the devotees. करमेभ्य करमेभ्य परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिं ययो ज्ञानिनः। तेभ्यो ज्ञान विमुक्त भक्ति परमा प्रेमैकनिष्ठा ततः। तेभ्यस्तः पशुपाल पंकज दृश्यताभ्योऽपि साराधिका। तद्वत् इयं तदीय सरसी तां नयसेत कृति। In the Shastra it is said that of all type of fruitive workers, karmibhyah parito hari. He who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life, Vyaktim yayo jnaninas, is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari Priyataya. One of such people who are advanced in knowledge, Jnani, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge, Tebhya Jnana Vimukta, may take to the devotional service Bhakti Paramaha. He is superior to others, however, one who has actually attained Prem, pure love of Krishna is superior to him. Premaika Nishta Tataha. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. Tebhyo tapashupala pankaja drusha. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most beloved of the gopis. Preshta tadvatvam tadiya sarasi. Who then will not reside at Radha Kund and in a spiritual body, remember these words are most important, in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, aprakrita bhav, render loving service to the divine couple, Sri Radha Govind, who perform their Ashtakalya Leela, their eternal eightfold daily pastime. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the bank of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe. So, there are vikarmis, those who don't follow the rules and regulation of scripture. Then there are karmis, they follow the rules and regulation for only sense enjoyment. Above the karmis are jnanis, they give up fruitive work and they search for the knowledge of the soul or Atma Tattva. Among those who are following the path of knowledge and cultivating Jnana Tattva or Atma Jnana, rarely one person is liberated. So from the vikarmis, karmis are better. From the karmis, jnanis are better. For jnanis, the liberated is better. But those liberated who has taken devotional service, they are higher than the jnani and liberated people. Those who are doing ordinary devotional service better than those who have developed the love of God. And those who have developed love of God, among those the highest are gopis. And among the gopis, the Radha is the topmost. This is the hierarchy of devotees, are the practitioners. So, here it is like that, vikarmi, karmi, karmis are, and then jnani, and then bhakt, and then premi bhakt, and then gopi, and Srimati Radharani and Radha Kund. This is the hierarchy like this. Now, Srila Prabhupada in the even translation has given purport which is not originally in the verse. What is the purport Srila Prabhupada has given? he writes, who then will not reside at Radha Kund?
Slideshow mode, so slideshow mode to become.
It's already too big here. I don't know what is the problem with that. Usually there is a different system in which I can enlarge only this here.
Ah, okay.
But here I tried, it's going to be too small. This is the, where the boy has gone. This is what we used to do. Now this has become like this.
Okay.
Everything gone. Now it's too small. It's not coming. I have to escape. Now this is, I don't know, this has become big because with the connection to this, usually it's too small. A lot more is enlarging it. NOI, student series full, this says be too small, it is too big. I don't know, some expert can do this. So Srila Prabhupada has written these few lines, see? In a spiritual body, what is the meaning of a spiritual body? Siddha Deha. Siddha Deha. Siddha means perfected, Deha means body. And what is Siddha Deha? How to achieve Siddha Deha?
Through devotional service.
In verse number 8 we have the stages of Varana Dasha, say Sarvana Dasha, Varana Dasha, Sumrana Dasha, Apan Dasha, and then Sampati Dasha. Those who have reached the level of Apan Dasha, that is called Swarup Siddhi. And then they enter into the pastime, actually, that is called Sampati Dasha. So this is for those people. Surcharged with ecstatic devotional service, aprakrit bhav. Prakrit means material. Aprakrit means spiritual sentiments or bhav. It means one who has aroused his bhav bhakti. Render loving service to the divine couple Sri Radha Govind. It means he performed Mansi Seva in a Siddha Deha. Mansi Seva means service in meditation. In a Siddha Deha means by his spiritual body. He will perform the service with his spiritual body in meditation. Who perform their Ashtakalin Leela. It means Radha Govinda, their pastime are 3 hours is called 1 Pahar. And Ashtapahar means 24 hours. 3 into 8, 24. So every 3 hours Radha and Krishna has a different pastime in different places in Vrindavan which is going on regularly. So what service, at what time, what they are Radha Krishna doing, they are Radha Govind, how to render service there, they are engaged in that service. This is called Leela Sumran. This is called, like we are doing Nama Sumran. So there is another stage which is called Leela Sumran. It means meditation on the Ashtakalina Leela. And there is a book written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad. Govinda Leela Amrit. The name of the book is Govinda Leela Amrit. In that book, Govinda Leela Amrit, there are pastime of Krishna every 3 hours, 24 hours, and 7 days, 12 months, 6 seasons, 2 sections of the year. The whole description of pastime is there, but the book is so high that once Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj asked from Bhakti Vinod Thakur, I want to print Govinda VIHE. Oh, Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, I will tell you later. Then he again reminded, he said, okay, you print only one copy for yourself. Because this is so high that it's not for ordinary people to really think. But here, those people who are at that level, they should reside at Radha Kund. Their eternal eightfold daily pastime, Nitya Leela. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the bank of Radha Kund, who can execute service at the bank of Radha Kund? Those who have manifested their spiritual body, those who are surcharged with devotional service and rendering service to the Radha Govinda in their eightfold daily eternal pastime. Eternal pastime means Nitya Leela. Eternal means Nitya Leela. So there are two pastimes of Krishna. One is called eternal, which is going on, Nitya Leela. The other is called manifest pastime. Manifest pastime is during his incarnation. When Krishna appears, then he performs his pastime. That is called manifest Leela. Prakat Leela. And then the aprakat Leela, or unmanifest pastime, are eternal. And the manifest pastime are only for time of Krishna's incarnation. When he appears, then his pastime are for 100 years or 125 years, he performed his pastime. Of that, only 11 years in Vrindavan. But they are still going on. The eternal pastime are many everyday new pastime. But the manifest pastime are only few. They are manifesting from eternal pastimes. And we have to meditate on, we have to hear. Shravan Dasha is of his manifest pastimes when he appears, like Bhagavatam. By hearing it, we adopt that Apan Dasha, Varna Dasha. We accept this. Then we meditate on his Nitya Leela. It means by manifest pastime, we enter into eternal pastime. Through manifest pastime in Bhagavatam, by hearing regularly and accepting and meditating, we will manifest our spiritual body and enter into the eternal pastimes. So eternal pastime are going on eternally. Manifest pastime only manifest periodically. But from where these manifest pastime are appearing? From Nitya Leela. That's called Nitya Leela. Vastavik Leela. The avatar pastime are called Vyavarik Leela. Vyavarik Leela means pastime according to some etiquettes. But the eternal pastime is too deep and there are so many which are not in Bhagavatam, which manifest in the heart of its pure devotees. And then they write those pastime in the books like Bhavana Amrit, Krishna Bhavana Amrit by Vishwanath Chakravarti or Raghunath Das Goswami. So these are the pastime which are not in Bhagavatam, but these are the Nitya pastime which are manifesting within the heart of a pure devotees who were living there at Radha Kund. They are eternally living there. Raghunath Das Goswami is living there as a Rati Manjari. He is still performing his pastime there. Rupa Goswami, they are still in the pastime. Kavinath Goswami, they have their manifest pastime also, and they have their unmanifest pastime also. So this translation is more elaborate than actually what is in the verse by Srila Prabhupada. Now the purport, first 2 pages almost, first 2-3 pages discuss the karmis and vikarmis. They only discuss karmi and vikarmi, the first line of the verse. So let us start reading. At present moment, almost everyone is engaged in some kind of fruitive activities. Those who are desirous of getting material profit by working are called karmis. So what is the definition of karmi? They work for some material benefit, are called karmis, are fruitive workers. All living entities within this material world have come under the spell of Maya. This is described in Vishnu Purana. Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta Kshetragyakya Tatha Para Avidya Karma Sanyaya Tritya Shakti Ishyate. Sages have divided the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in 3 categories: Vishnu, Shakti, Para, Prokta, Kshetragya, Akya, Tatha Para. Namely, the spiritual energy, marginal energy, and material energy. The material energy is considered to be the 3rd class energy, Tritiya Shakti. Those living entities, beings within the jurisdiction of the material energy sometimes engage themselves like dogs and hawks and working very hard simply for sense gratification. So they are actually not karmis. They are working like animals only. Karmis means following rules and regulation of Vedic scripture. But those who are just living for enjoyment, they are like hawks and dogs. However, in this life or after executing pious activities in the next life, some karmis become strongly advanced to performing various kinds of sacrifice mentioned in the Vedas. Thus, on the strength of their pious merit, they are elevated to heavenly planet. These are actually karma kandis. Pious karma kandis performing sacrifice to go to heaven. And then, actually those who perform sacrifice strictly according to Vedic injection are elevated to moon and other moon and planets above moon, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Shine punya martilokam vishanti. After exhausting the result of their so-called pious activities, they again return to the earth, which is called Martiloka, the place of death. So what Srila Prabhupada discussed in this section is, first he is speaking of vikarmi, which is not really mentioning by name, like dogs and hogs, not following any rules and regulation, only working for sense gratification. Then above them are the pious people, they follow the Vedic sacrifices, but their aim is to be elevated to the heaven. They are actually karmakandis or karmis. There is a difference between the karma, karmakand and karma yoga. These are the three words, but all three words have a different meaning. Karma means performing some activities according to rules and regulation of the scripture. And by doing that karma, we have to take another body to enjoy the fruits of our work. And this is in 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Kim karma uchyate. Have you reached to 8th chapter? No, 8th chapter there is a question, what is called karma? Kim karma uchyate. Bhut bhav udbhav kara karma samjita. Visarga karma samjita. It means, karma means binding you to accept another body. Karma kandis are ritualistic performance of Vedic rituals with the aim to get a facility to go to heaven. The karma yogis, they perform their action with fruits, but they recognize the authority of Supreme Lord. And these karma yogis are of two types, Sakama karma yogi and Nishkama karma yogi. Sakama karma yogi are like, they perform action, they earn some money, they enjoy their own needs and they give something in service of God. Sakam karmi. The Nishkam karmi are those, they perform work but give all the result to the Supreme Lord. So of the two karma yogis, the Nishkam karma yogi is only the one which is accepted in Bhagavad Gita. Sure.
So does that mean karma kandis and sakam karma yogis, they are on similar level?
Sakam karma yogis are better than karma kandi. Because karma kandis go to the heaven. Sakam karma yogis, they will definitely are like arto jigyasu artharthi. So they are that type of people, they are going to the Lord at least for their desire. So they are the candidate to advance further in devotional service, while the karma kandis no. So sakama karma yogi and nishkama karma yogi. Our Bhagavad Gita actually starts from nishkama karma yoga. It's not giving much importance to sakama karma yoga either. Which is only one verse in whole Bhagavad Gita Prabhupada used to quote for karma yoga. One verse Srila Prabhupada quotes from Bhagavad Gita as the definition of karma yoga. Karmaneva adhikaraste. Second chapter, third chapter.
Second.
No. One verse which Srila Prabhupada used to quote for Jnana Yoga. One verse Srila Prabhupada used to quote for Dhyana Yoga. This is it, like from Bhagavad Gita, if you have to say only one verse about Karma Yoga, then that verse is Yat karosi yadasnasi yadjausi dadasi yada yatapasyasi konte tadu purushomadarapam. That is the definition of Nishkam Karma Yoga. One verse for the Jnana Yoga is Bahunam Janmanam Ate Jnanam Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samā. And one verse about Dhyana Yoga is Yoginam Padgatantratma Same Yuktatmo Mata. And one verse for Bhagavad Gita Sarvadharman Paritya. and man manma bhagavad bhakto, one of the two. And one Srila Prabhupada asked from his senior devotees, which is the most important verse in whole Bhagavad Gita?
Janma karma cha me divyam.
Yeah, Prabhupada on that particular day said, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tattvata. This is the most important. Though most of the time he quotes the Sarvadharma and Parijat, but on that day he specifically said this verse. So now Srila Prabhupada is going further. Even though his karma kandi is pious, they go to heaven, they will come back when these pious credits are exhausted. Although such person may be elevated to the heavenly planet by their pious activities, and although they may enjoy the life there for many thousands of years, they nonetheless must return to this planet when the result of their pious activities are exhausted. Next paragraph. This is the position of karmis. These are the karmis. Karmakandis, sakam karmis, all are coming in this. Including those who act piously and those who act impiously. So karmis are both piously and impiously. On this planet we find many businessmen, politicians and others who are simply interested in material happiness. They attempt to earn money by all means, not considering whether such means are pious or impious. Such people are called karmis or gross materialists. Among the karmis, some are vikarmis, people who act without the guidance of Vedic knowledge. You have done the chapter 4 Bhagavad Gita, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
There is a vikarmi, karmi and akarmi. Huh? So what is the meaning of vikarmi in a 4th chapter? Prabhupada's definition of vikarmi in 4th chapter. Yes.
Working against scriptures, working against.
That's here. One who is not following the rules of scripture and does work whimsically is called vikarmi. What Prabhupada has written in 4th chapter Bhagavad Gita, definition of vikarmi. All non-Krishna conscious activities are vikarma. If you read, all non-Krishna conscious activities are vikarma. That's what is in 4th chapter. And what is akarmi? This word akarmi is also in some 3rd or 3rd chapter also. But their meaning is completely different than the meaning in 4th chapter. Normally, akarmi means one does not work anything. This is like a lazy man, ordinarily. But 4th chapter akarmi is the one who works for Krishna without desire for doership or a result of the work for enjoyment. Karta bhoktapan ko tyag kar. You give up the mentality of enjoyer and mentality of doer. You only perform work for pleasure of Krishna. Like one example is given somewhere in Bhagavad Gita. Like in a machine, there is one small part which only works within the machine just for the purpose of machine. It has no separate need. And then there is no result, bad or good to suffer. That is called akarma. Akarma, vikarma, karma. So we have to become akarmi. Though we are doing all activities, but we have to give up two things. Doership and enjoying spirit of the fruits of our work. So, Vikram is those who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge perform sacrifice for satisfaction of Lord Vishnu and to receive benediction from him. In this way, they are elevated to higher planetary system. Such karmis are superior to the vikarmis. For they are faithful to the direction of Veda and are certainly dear to Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tant tatheva bhajamyam. In whatever way one surrender unto me, I reward him accordingly. Krishna is so kind that he fulfills the desires of the karmis, jnanis, not to speak of bhaktas. So this is also in your Bhagavad Gita. How Krishna fulfilled the desire of karmi? As there's a specific word in the purport. And you have done this. Yagneshwar. You read this? He fulfilled the desire of yogis as Yogeshwar. He fulfilled the desire of jnanis as at least Yagneshwar is written there. Have you seen this? Where is in Bhagavad Gita? Where is that? Ye yathamam prapadya, in this verse. Somewhere it is written? Huh?
Fourth chapter.
Fourth chapter? Ye yathamam prapadya, in this fourth chapter. Is it written Yagneshwar? These are the technical things which are asked from you. I mean, I'm saying what we are studying. Generally, you know the meaning, but what is specifically is written, you have to give the exact word
Yes,
from the book.
Yagneshwar is written.
Yagneshwar only.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
For those who are fruity workers, the Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties as the Yagneshwar.
Uh-huh. And
those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers.
as a Yogeshwar. As a Yogeshwar. So, although the karmis are sometimes elevated to higher planetary system, as long as they remain attached to the fruity work, they must accept new material bodies after death. If one acts piously, he can attain a new body among the demigods in the higher planetary system, or he may attain some other position in which he can enjoy a higher standard of material happiness. Become a minister here. Yes. On the other hand, those who are engaged in impious activities are degraded and take birth as animals, trees and plants. Thus, those fruity workers who do not care for the Vedic injection, vikarmi, directions, are not appreciated by learned saintly persons, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is for the vikarmis and karmis both. Nyonam pramatha kurute vikrama. Nyonam pramatha kurute vikrama. Yadendriya pritya pranoti. Yadendriya pritya pranoti. Sadhu manyahe yat atmanoyam. Sadhu manyahe yat atmanoyam. Asannapi kleshadasa deha. Asannapi kleshadasa. Materialists who work hard like dogs and hogs simply for sense gratification are actually mad, pramatta. See, these are the same word Prabhupada has used in the first page. Working like dog and hogs. It means they are vikarmi here. They simply perform all kinds of abominable activities simply for sense gratification. Materialistic activities are not at all worthy of an intelligent man. For as a result of such activities, he gets a material body which is full of misery. Kleshada. The purpose of human life is to get out of the threefold miseries, miserable conditions, which are concomitant with material existence. As long as we get body, we will get suffering. Unfortunately, food workers are made to earn money and acquire temporary material comforts by all means. Therefore, they risk being degraded to lower species of life. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world. They do not stop to consider that they will live only for a certain number of years, out of which they must spend the major portion acquiring money for sense gratification. Ultimately, such activities end in death. Materialists do not consider that after giving up the body, they may become embodied as lower animals, plants and trees. Thus all their activities simply defeat the purpose of human life. Not only are they born ignorant, but they act on a platform of ignorance, thinking that they are getting material benefit in shape of skyscraper, buildings, big cars, honorable position, and so on. The materialists do not know that in the next life they will be degraded and that all their activities simply serve as parabhava, their defeat. This is the verdict of Vedic Bhagavatam or Srimad Bhagavatam. Parabhavatavad abodha jataha. Abodha jata means they are ignorant. So this up till here, the purport is describing only karma, karmi and vikarmi and their goal. Now see, this is sakam karmi. It's not sakam karma yogi. It's sakam karmi of two types, karmis and vikarmis. Now what we have read in 2 pages is in 4 lines. It's too small to read. Act piously. Karmis act piously. Act on the basis of Vedic knowledge. They are superior to vikarmis. Perform for the satisfaction of Vishnu, Yajna. They are elevated to the higher planetary system on the basis of their pious activities, but return to this planet when the result of pious activities are exhausted. As long as they remain attached to fruitive activities, they must accept new material bodies, and which are always miserable. Vikarmis, those who act impiously. Who act impiously. Number 2, act without the guidance of the Vedic knowledge, degrade and take the birth as animals, trees and plants. They are not appreciated by learned, saintly persons. That is the verse which we have read. And foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world and act ignorantly all through. This is what we have read, is the summary of this. Now we are going to the next stage called Jnani. So, who is Vikarmi and how Karmis are better than Vikarmi? That is all over. Okay, so next paragraph. One should therefore be eager to understand the science of soul, Atma Tattva. Unless one comes to the platform of Atma Tattva, by which one understands that the soul and not the body is oneself, one remains on the platform of ignorance. So karmis are in ignorance. Jnanis want to come above the ignorance, means he learned the science of the soul, what is called Atma Tattva. One of the thousands and even millions of ignorant people, karmis, who are wasting their time simply gratifying their senses, koti karmi madhya, among the millions of fruitive workers who are foolish and ignorant, one may come to platform of knowledge, ek jnani shreshth. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching to Srila Rupa Goswami. Koti karmi madhya ek jnani shreshth. Koti karmi madhya ek jnani shreshth. Koti means a million. Koti means 10 million. Karmi means fruitive workers. Madhya means among. Ek means one. Jnani means one who has acquired the Atma Tattva. Shreshth means the best. Such persons are called Jnani. The Jnanis know that fruitive activities will bind him to material existence and cause him to transmigrate from one kind of body to another. As indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam by the term Sarira Bandha, bound to the bodily existence, as long as one maintains any conception of sense enjoyment in this life or in the heaven. As long as one maintains any conception of sense enjoyment, his mind will be absorbed in karma, fruitive activities, and this will oblige him to transmigrate from one body to another. So thus the Jnani is considered superior to Karmi, because he at least refrained from blind activities of sense enjoyment. Blind activities means ignorance, working under ignorance. This is the verdict of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, though the Jnanis may be liberated, Koti Jnani Madhya Eka Mukta. Koti means 10 million, Jnani means knowledgeable, Madhya means among, Ek means one, Mukt means liberated. Among many, many knowledgeable people, only one is actually liberated. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Koti Mukta Madhya Durlabh Eka Krishna Bhakta. Koti means 10 million, Mukt means liberated, Madhya means among, Ek means one, Durlabh means rare, Krishna Bhakta. So among the liberated 10 millions, hardly you can find one Krishna Bhakta. So how rare is a Krishna Bhakta? So therefore Prabhupada is actually writing this from Chaitanya, teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami, chapter 9, Madhya Leela. The ignorance of the karmis may be liberated from the ignorance of the karmis. Unless he comes to the platform of devotional service, he is still considered to be ignorant, avidya. So if they don't advance to the devotional service, still they are ignorant. Why? Although they may accept as jnanis, or when advanced in knowledge, his knowledge is considered impure. Why? Because he has no information of devotional service and thus neglects the direct worship of lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Two reasons are given here. Why he is still impure.
information about devotion.
No information of devotional service and not directly engaged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord. Why he is impure? Why Jnani is impure? Jnana is in the mode of goodness. Knowledge is in mode of goodness. But mode of goodness is also the mode of material nature. So he is still bound. If one thief, you can cuff him with a golden shekel, but he is still a thief. You can cuff him with the iron shekel or golden or silver, but he is a thief. So Jnani is still in mode of goodness, but the devotion is beyond three modes, so he is still not pure. Is it clear? Three things at least. When the Jnanis take to the devotional service, he rapidly advances, he comes superior, he rapidly becomes superior to ordinary Jnani. So there is a difference of the Jnanis, ordinary Jnani and devotee Jnani. And then Srila Prabhupada quote this verse for a devotee Jnani. Such an advanced person is described as Jnana Vimukta Bhakti Parama. Jnana Vimukta Bhakti Parama. How a Jnani takes to devotional service is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Bhaunam Janamante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyante Vasudeva Samahatma Sadhurlabha. After many births and days, he was actually in knowledge, surrender unto me. Mam Prapadyante. Knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is, such a great soul is very rare. Actually a person is wise when he surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna. But such a Mahatma, great soul, is very rare. So what is the most important qualification of a Jnani who advances to devotion? Surrender. Surrender is most important. Devotion starts by surrender. Ye kale sishya kare atma samarpan, that is called surrender. After taking a devotional service under the regularity principle, now, what is this type of devotional service? VIHE sadhana bhakti. VIHE sadhana bhakti. After taking devotional service under the regular principle, a person may come to platform of spontaneous service, Raganuga. So this one line has both VIHE sadhana leading to Raganuga sadhana. Following the footsteps of great devotees like Narada and Sanak and Sanatan, then it is not Raganuga actually. Wait a minute. So, he is performing VIHE sadhana bhakti, developing VIHE bhav bhakti, and developing VIHE prem in the line of Narad, Sanak, Sanatan. Because they are Jnani, Sanak, Sanatan, they are Jnani. And Narad is also VIHE bhakta. VIHE sadhana bhakti perfect into VIHE sadhana prem. And they are the example of that. So this whole paragraph is VIHE sadhana bhakti leading to VIHE sadak bhav, leading to VIHE sadhana prem. And that prem leads one to Vaikuntha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then recognizes him to be superior. It means those devotees who are VIHE sadhana premi like Narada and Sanak, they are superior to the Jnanis. The devotees who have developed the love of God are certainly in an exalted position. They have developed love of God by VIHE marg, by Vedic path. Now comes next Raganuga path. Of all the devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna. Nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. 2 points why they are higher. Indeed, sometimes Krishna put them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, the gopis become more dejected and spend the rest of their lives simply crying in separation from Krishna. This means that, in one sense, they were never actually separated because from Krishna. Why? There is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with Krishna. Rather, Vipralamba Seva, thinking of Krishna's separation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. So now actually higher than Rag Anuga, this is Rag Atmika Bhakti. This is Rag Atmika perfect Bhakti. That was the perfection of Vedic Bhakti, Narad, and the gopis are the perfection of Rag Atmik Bhakti. Rag Anuga Bhakti become Rag Atmik Bhakti. So Vipramala Bhava is more important. Thus, of all the devotees who have developed unalloyed love for Krishna, the gopis are most exalted. And of all these exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest. No one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feelings. In this way, Sri Rupa Goswami gradually concludes that Srimati Radharani is the most exalted devotee of Krishna, and that her Kunda, lake, Sri Radha Kund, is the most exalted place. This is verified in a quotation from Laghu Bhagavata Amritam, Uttarakhand 45, as quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnoho Tasyaha Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopeshu Saivaika Vishnoho Atyanta Valabha. Just as Srimati Radharani is dear to Lord Krishna, Vishnu, so her bathing place Radha Kund is equally dear to Krishna. Among all the gopis, she alone stands supreme as Lord's most beloved. Therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radha Kund and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of Sri Rupa Goswami in the 10th verse of Updeshamrita. So, now we have the next stage. Non-religious materialists, they are Vikarmis. Karmis, then religious materialists, then Karam Kandis, and then Jnanis, then Bhakta. Can you see these non-religious materialists? You have hogs and dogs. Then Karmis. Then religious materialist, which means doing pious activities, at least according to the regulation. Then Karam Khandis.
Non-religious can be Vikarmis also.
Non-religious materialist means vikarmis.
Non-religious, this atheists and all these people, they don't follow any religion, they simply are materialist. They earn money and enjoy like animals.
It should be vikarmis or karmis.
They both are karmis.
They both are.
The karmis are two types, religious karmis and non-religious karmis. The below are actually vikarmi and above are pious. Below are impious and above are pious. Then karma khandis want to please Vishnu. Then jnani is atma tattva. Then bhakta, surrender. If you have to write one line against them, then in the lowest rung you write vikarmi. Then the other right, the red thing you write pious karmis. Karmakandis pleasing Vishnu. Yagya, performing yagya to please Vishnu. Jnanis knowing Atma Tattva. Bhakta surrender. Jnani, this is in our book about Jnani. Understand the science of the soul, which means Atma Tattva. Know that fruity activities bound him in material existence. Number 3, refrain from the blind activities of sense enjoyment. Thus, Jnani is considered superior to Karmi. Unless he come to platform of devotional service, still he is considered to be in ignorance. When a Jnani takes to devotional service, he rapidly becomes superior to an ordinary Jnani. This much is in our book about Jnani. Bhakta does devotional service under the regulative principle VIHE sadhana. A person can come to the platform of spontaneous love of God following the footsteps of great devotees like Narad, Sanak, Sanatan by Vedi Marg, not Rag Marg, Vedi Marg. Premi Bhakta developed unlike devotional love for Krishna, and they actually follow the Rag Marg. Gopis. Of all the devotees who have developed love of God, either by Vaidhi sadhan or by Raganuga sadhan, the Gopis are recognized as superior. They do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna, nor do the Gopis expect any return from Krishna. They cannot forget Krishna. Viparlamba Seva, thinking of Krishna and separation is far better than serving Krishna directly. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that the consciousness of Gopi are the highest. This is about the Gopis. Where else this type of hierarchy have you heard? Any book?
In this book only. This book, previous verse.
No, Brother Bhagavad Amrita of Sanatana Goswami has the hierarchy of the devotees and hierarchy of the places. In whole give big detail. Karmis, Jnanis, on this planet, higher planets, even then Arjun, Hanuman, Brahma, Shiva, and it is like that. Ultimately, Pandavas, and then the Yadavas, and then Uddhav. Among the male devotee, Uddhav is the earliest. And after Uddhav are the Gopis. And above the Gopis is Radharani. This is the way he has described the hierarchy of the devotees, and then he described the hierarchy of places of worship. He personally, from the heaven all the way to the Brahmalok, to the Vaikuntha, and he was not satisfied there to the Gopis. Then he is going Gop Kumar to the Golok, and Krishna is embracing. So this is the more detail in Brother Bhagavad Amrit. And this hierarchy is also described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Teaching to Rupa Goswami in 9th chapter, 19th of Sri Chaitanya. And Srimati Radha and Radha Kund, what we have read now, of all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is highest. No one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani. Even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just to understand her transcendental feelings. In a similar way, Sri Radha Rani's Kund, Radha Kund is the most exalted place. Everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should take shelter of Radha Kund and execute devotional service throughout one's life. They are the most fortunate people in the entire world. What do you think? Are you interested in Krishna consciousness? Are you ready to stay whole your life and serve in Radha Kund? No. Why? Because we are still Bhakta, not a Premi Bhakta. We are in a category of Bhakta, doing Vaidhi sadhana. When we cross the limit of Raganuga sadhana, when we finish the Raganuga sadhana bhakti and awaken the Raganuga bhav bhakti, then we are qualified and eligible to go to Radha and cultivate Rag, Anugya, Prem and become Rag Atmika Bhakt and stay there and serve as only maid servants of Radharani. No other form. So we are going to the verse number 10, the topmost holy places in the entire universe. Krishnasya uchahi pranyavasti presibhyopi radha. Kundam chasya munibhir abhitasta eva vyadai. Kundam chasya munibhir abhitasta eva vyadai. Yataha preshtai api alam ashulabham kim punar bhakti bhajam. Yat preshtai api alam ashulabham tat premedam sakradapi sara snator avishkaroti. Sakrat means only once, and snato means taking bath. Only taking bath once. If we are not able to stay, this will give Krishna prema. So, of the many objects of favor, delight, and of all the lovable damsels of Vrajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to Krishna. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained, even by the great devotees like Narada. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Srila Prabhupada writes in his translation, and then he gives a very small purport. The purport is just 1.5 pages. Why Radha Kund is so exalted? And so on. The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani, who is the most beloved object of Lord Sri Krishna among all the gopis. She is most beloved. Okay. Similarly, her lake, the Radha Kund, is also described by great sages as the lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Great sages. Who are the great sages? Who describe this? Raghunath Das Goswami, Kaviraj Das, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, they have described this. Okay. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radha Kund and Srimati Radharani is the same in all respects. Sri Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by the great personalities fully engaged in devotional service, not to speak of ordinary devotees who are only engaged in the practice of Vedic Bhakti. It means even Raganuga Bhakta, those who are in friendly mood or service mood or Vatsalya mood are also not entitled to go to Radha. Even Raganuga, if they are good. Why the next line says, it is stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of gopis. If he once take a bath in Radha Kund. Srila Rupa Goswami recommend that even if one cannot live permanently on the bank of Radha Kund, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. This is most important item in the execution of devotional service. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radha Kund is most select place for those interested in advancing the devotional service in the wake of lady friends, Sakhis, and the confidential serving maid, Manjaris, of Srimati Radharani. Living entities who are eager to return home to this transcendental kingdom of God, Golok Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual body, Siddhadev, should live at Radha Kund under the shelter of the confidential serving maids, Manjaris, of Sri Radha, and under their direction engage constantly in her service. And then, this is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narad, Sanak do not get an opportunity to come to Radha Kund to take their bath. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? If by great fortune one take and get an opportunity to come to Radha Kund and bath even once, he can develop his transcendental love for Krishna, exactly as the gopis did. It is also recommended that one should live on the bank of Radha Kund and should be absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all material conceptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant gopis. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back home, back to Godhead, to serve Sri Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the bank of Radha Kund. Conclusion is that to live on the bank of Radha Kund and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service. It is difficult position to attain, even for great sages and devotees like Narad. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Radha Kund. By serving Radha Kund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis. This is our topic. Now see something here and then we will discuss. Glories of Radha Kund. 11th verse is glories of Radha Kund. There is a beloved object of the Krishna, why it is so much worshipable. So first, there are three things. And they attend, how one can attend and what is the benefit of taking bath. So there are three things here. First is, Radha Kund is a beloved object of Krishna. Why? It is so much worshipable. Srimad Radharani is the most beloved object of Krishna. Radha Kund belongs to Srimati Radharani. Similarly, Radha Kund is as dear to Krishna as Srimati Radha. And this is described by great sages. This is about why Radha Kund is important. Then, attainment, very rarely attained, even by great personalities like Narad, Sanak, and then Sanatan. What to speak of ordinary devotees who practice Vaidhi Bhakti. Then benefit of bathing. At once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of gopis. If he once take a bath in Radha Kund. Number 2. Most important item in execution of devotional service. Number 3. Even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of Radha Kund, he should take bath in the lake as many times as possible. This is Prabhupada's purport in 3 parts. Why it is important? How to attend? Or who will attend? And what is the benefit of bathing? Then there is a commentary by Bhakti Vinod. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radha Kund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service. This important word, in the wake of lady friends, Sakhis, and the confident serving maids, Manjaris of the Srimati Radha. Living entities who are eager to return home back to transcendent kingdom of God, Golok, Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual bodies, said they should live at Radha Kund, take shelter of the confident serving maids of Radha, and under their direction engage constantly in her service. This is most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only Gaudiya, nobody else. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami. In this connection, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narad, Sanak do not get the opportunity to come to Radha Kund to take their bath. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? It is also recommended that one should live on the bank of Radha Kund and should be absorbed in the loving service of Lord. One should bath there regularly and give up all material conception, taking shelter of Radha Kund and her assistant, Radha and her assistant gopis. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back home, back to Godhead, to serve Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the bank of Radha Kund. The conclusion is that to live on the bank of Radha Kund and to bathe there daily constitute highest perfection of devotional service. Now the last slide is to answer, many answer for you. Take bath in Radha Kund with some finer consideration for you. Take bath in Radha Kund with the permission of your spiritual master, number 1. Take bath with the utmost respect, understanding glories of Radha Kund. We can understand the glories of Radha Kund when we understand Upadeshamrit, text 1 to 10. Especially live according to text 1 to 8. If we are able to practice first 8 verses of Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti perfectly, and we come to Raganuga Bhakti, then we can think of Radha Kund service. Follower of Srila Prabhupada who are highly elevated though qualified to reside at Radha Kund, prefer to preach and be in their respective preaching fields. This is the Prabhupada's mood. They may be eligible to go there, but they are not going there. Why? They prefer preaching. Prabhupada is himself example. From Vrindavan he did not go to Radha Kund and retire. But at Radha Kund, Prabhupada met Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati told him, there's a lot of, he was very unhappy with the senior devotees in the movement fighting for the rooms in the ashram. So he said, if I sell the all building and print books, I will be happy. And then he told Srila Prabhupada only say 8 words. If you get money, print books. This is the order Srila Prabhupada got at Radha Kund from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada. And rest of the life, Prabhupada has printed millions and millions of books of Nectar of Devotion and Nectar of Instruction and other books and distributed all over the world. So he actually served Radha Kund by preaching. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada wants that those who preach, they are more serving Radha Kund. Srila Prabhupada wanted his follower not to spend much time at Radha Kund because they will mix with the sagyas. They will mix with the apasampradayas. And they will lose the essence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. And respect the Babajis there from a respectful distance. Give them honor, but not mix with them. This is the mood of present day ISKCON management. I mean, ISKCON whole and ISKCON GBC, our say Radha Kund, this verse 11 and our position. And then there's a Hare Krishna. So now you have any question or comment, we can discuss something. I think we have finished our this session. Any question or comment? I'm asking you a question. How many of you have taken bath in Radha Kund? Have you developed love of God? Huh? Have you developed that Gopi Bhav? Therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj says, this is the bones and skin and muscles has taken bath. A bag of the bones, muscle and skin has taken bath. Not the exalted Siddha there of a person. It means the taking bath in Radha Kund means already we are at the stage of Bhava Bhakti. Then, and also that Bhava Bhakti which is only in a Madhurya Ras. Only in Madhurya Ras. Not in Dasya Ras, not in Sakha Ras, not in Vatsalya Ras. That is not the place for Radha Kund. Then Govardhan. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami says, I can go every day to Radha Kund and serve our acharyas there. But I don't feel qualified to stay at Radha Kund. I will come back in the evening and stay at some lower place like Govardhan. And go in the morning and serve the masters there and come back. This was his mood. And when he took many times parikrama there, only once he took the full bath. Usually do the parikrama and then say, who can live at the bank of Radha Kund? one who offers 1,000 Dandvat every day to the Vaishnavas, who perform parikrama every day, who only subsist on a cup of buttermilk like Raghunath Das Goswami, he can stay there. So for staying there actually is not easy task. To live there and live like monkeys, Prabhupada took the devotees there to Radha Kund. But when the devotees started taking bath, they were swimming in the Radha Kund, splashing and jumping. Prabhupada stopped them, get out. This is Radha Rani's Kund. It is not for your enjoyment, it is Krishna's enjoyment. It's for Krishna's enjoyment. You are not fit to take bath. So Prabhupada stopped them to take bath because they were disrespectful to Radha Kund, not knowing the glories of Radha Kund. So it's like we should take bath, but we should have respect and we should be more humble, knowing the glories of Radha Kund, getting permission from our spiritual master, and then very, very humbly we just pray there and take bath at Radha Kund. But it's actually for Madhurya Bhava devotees, not even other Bhava devotees. This is not a place. There's a Govardhan, Vrindavan, many other places. So, any question?
We heard that we are supposed to take bath only on special days like Gokulashtami and all that.
But still we are the same bones. And it's can Gokulashtami, it is going to be so much rush that there's nobody think of taking bath. Everybody's trying to find a way to go in and get out. The consciousness is, once I went there, it's like if you fall, you will die because people jump on you. So, those who have taken bath, none of them has become gopi yet. I have not seen. So this is a big rush and big show. Mahaprabhu came to Vrindavan even alone with one servant. What is the need of so many people to take there? You go alone at one time, very respectfully, pay your obeisance, read some Radha Kund prayers there, pray to the Goswamis living there, and then beg their mercy that we can touch to this water if you so desire. That is the very simple thing. Not really, it's a special day, we go there. I know many people, they have taken bath, but they are same as before. There is no change. After taking bath, if you stay there and don't come back, then go there. Whatever happens, you just stay there. Depend that Radharani will provide you all necessary guidance. Don't go anywhere. Then you go stay there. Not coming back. Chanting at least, sleeping only 2 hours, chanting 3 legs, and then you go. It's not an excursion place. Have an honor for it. Do the parikrama. Do the dandavats from distance. That's better. Or get a water in a jug, put on your head with honor. Don't put your foot unless you think you are actually permitted by a spiritual master or you think I am really qualified for that. Usually when we are new devotees, we do go and take bath, but gradually as we advance, we try to refrain from it. Because knowing that it's not our spiritual eligibility. But at one day we may be eligible to go there, take bath every day, and in a Siddha day serve our previous acharyas. It's possible for some people, not all. So in the 10th verse, we are among the Premi Bhaktas. We are above the Karmis, Jnanis and ordinary Bhaktas. We are the follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at least at the level of Premi Bhakta, a shard of gopis. After our devotional service, higher than us are the gopis. So we are on that level, in that sense. Though we are at sadhana bhakti, but we have a goal. So we are progressing towards Premi Bhakta. From a Bhakta, but at least we are higher than the karmis and jnanis in our sadhana. Any other question or comment? Now you have 2 more, 3, 4 days before exam. You have a couple of days. So I think it's better answer on the question of the question bank. And 99% will come from that, I hope. And generally it's like that. Maybe hardly one question is here and there. Question may be sometime like that. There's a Babaji in Vrindavan who is 105-year-old. I want to take initiation from him. So what you will write? What is your answer? Huh? Because he lives in Vrindavan, it is not qualification to be a guru. Because he's 105 years, there is not a qualification. Has he controlled the 6 urges? If not, then he is not qualified. What we have to say, this is not the criteria of Upadeshana to accept a spiritual master. The criteria is, he must have controlled this. If he is not controlled, then he is not a bona fide spiritual master. 6 exchanges. With whom we should exchange, with whom we should avoid whom. So you read, I think it's not a big book, I think you can read in coming 8 days, I think 8 times, and answer your questions properly. Anyway, you have any question, you can ask me. But I think it's unnecessary to keep you 2 more days for coming years. Better you prepare yourself. We have finished Sri Ishopana story before time. Well, this is not a question for you, but how Radha could manifest it, how Shyam could manifest it. So there is a story, and most of you know this. After killing the Vrishabhasur, a demon in the, it's called Vrishabhasur, Arshtasur, came as a bull. Gopis wanted Krishna to go to the all holy places because he has killed bull. So he made this Sham Kund and invited all the holy places. But Radha was not ready to take. She actually got her own Kund, all the gopis, and then they got the water from Mansi Ganga. And then Krishna requested all the holy places to beg Radharani to accept their water. And then all holy places personified appeared there as a person, requested Radharani. Then she said, I will take everyday bath in Sham Kund. And the water will be mixed together. There's some link. And she allowed the water of the Sham Kund to enter into the Radha Kund. But actually these are both Kund are actually love of Radha and Krishna liquefied. Radha Kund is Radha Prem and Krishna Kund is Krishna Prem. These are all liquid Prem of the two. These are the 2 eyes of the Govardhan. So within the jurisdiction of Govardhan, this is Radha Kund. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. No question, no comment. Yes?
There's one question in English. When drawing from the various purposes in Updeshamrita, describe how Srila Prabhupada defines the qualities of an ISKCON member in this case.
What's the question?
Describe how Srila Prabhupada defines the qualities of an ISKCON member from the various purposes. Can you give us some pointers on that?
I asked you once that you write a small paragraph, not small, from different verses, the purpose of ISKCON.
No, this is not purpose. The qualities of ISKCON member.
ISKCON?
Member.
ISKCON member.
Qualities of ISKCON member?
Members.
Here's a question.
Which verse?
This is another fourth verse. I think fourth verse. I didn't have verse number.
What is the verse?
No, what's
No, what is the question?
I think verse 4, under verse 4 this question comes.
But verse 4 is the sixth type of exchanges, right? Dadati pratigaranti. So what is the question? Give me the question.
How Srila Prabhupada defines the qualities of an ISKCON member?
Drawing from various purposes in Updeshamrita, describes Srila Prabhupada's defines the qualities of a ISKCON member. Member qualities: invite general public. Members should be Mahatma, should have 6 loving exchanges. Everyone should follow the rules and regulation of devotional service. Prabhupada has written 5-6 things what the ISKCON member should do in this case. How the ISKCON members can do this: invite people for festivals, give holy name to other. Dadati is the best holy name. So all these things together, you compile, it will be answered, okay? Yeah, the same thing, ISKCON's purpose, how the ISKCON is fulfilling these 6 exchanges. The same meaning. The question may be this way or this way. How these 6 exchanges are taking place in ISKCON. That's what ISKCON members are doing, same thing. The question may be a little twisted in a language, but the purpose is same. ISKCON is doing all 6 exchanges and giving facilities for people to reciprocate with them by 6 exchanges. So this is what is written. Okay. Okay, thank you. Krishna bless you all.